Some gifts are meant to be cherished. Others, they linger, refusing to let go, no matter how hard you try to forget them. My name is Emily Carter, and I live in a cozy 2-story house on the edge of a quiet neighborhood in Minnesota. My family consists of my husband, Mark, our 10-year-old son, Liam, and my younger sister, Claire, who's been staying with us temporarily after going through a rough breakup. We also have a loyal golden retriever named Duke, who's always by my side. He's the kind of dog who greets everyone like an old friend, but knows when to stand guard if something feels off. Valentine's Day was supposed to be a simple, low-key evening for us. Mark and I planned to cook dinner together. Liam was excited about his new video game, and Claire promised to help bake cookies. Outside, a storm rolled in just as we sat down to eat. It felt cozy at first, until the package arrived. It happened around 7 p.m. A sharp knock echoed through the house, startling all of us. Duke barked sharply, trotting toward the door. "Who could that be?" Claire asked, glancing out the window. No cars out there. I opened the door to find a small, neatly wrapped box sitting on the porch. There was no note, no return address, just my name written in elegant cursive on the top. "What is it?" Mark asked, peering over my shoulder. "I don't know," I replied, picking it up cautiously. "It's addressed to me." We brought it inside, and everyone gathered around as I unwrapped it. Inside was a delicate music box, its surface engraved with intricate roses. When I opened it, a soft melody began to play, a hauntingly beautiful tune that none of us recognized. "Creepy," Claire muttered, crossing her arms. "Who sent it?" "I have no idea," I admitted, setting it on the counter. "But it's probably just a prank." Duke sniffed at the box curiously before backing away, his tail tucked low. Something about it made him uneasy. Later that night, after everyone had gone to bed, I heard the music again, faint at first, then louder, as if the box were playing on its own. I crept downstairs, Duke following close behind, his ears perked up and his body tense. When I reached the kitchen, the music stopped abruptly. The box sat exactly where I'd left it, closed and silent. But something felt wrong. The air was colder, heavier, and the shadows seemed to stretch unnaturally across the walls. "Probably just the wind," I whispered to myself, though I didn't believe it. The next morning, Claire mentioned hearing whispers in her room during the night. "Like someone was calling my name," she said, rubbing her temples. "It woke me up." "You're imagining things," Mark replied, though his voice lacked conviction. But then Liam started acting strange too. He claimed he saw a woman standing at the foot of his bed, smiling at him. She wasn't scary, he insisted, just sad. By the third night, none of us could sleep. The music played constantly now, even when the box was closed. Duke refused to leave my side, growling softly whenever we passed the kitchen. Finally, I decided to get rid of it. "Let's take it to the police station," Mark suggested. "Maybe they can figure out who sent it." We drove to the station, leaving the box on the counter with a note explaining the situation. But when we returned home later that evening, it was waiting for us on the dining table. "How did it get here?" Claire shrieked, backing away. "I don't know," I snapped, clutching Duke's leash tightly. "This isn't possible." That's when we heard the knocking, slow, deliberate taps coming from the basement. None of us had been down there in weeks. "We need to check it out," Mark said reluctantly, grabbing a flashlight. Against my better judgment, we descended into the dark, damp space. The knocking grew louder as we approached an old chest we hadn't opened in years. When Mark lifted the lid, we froze. Inside was a pile of photographs, all of them showing the same woman, smiling eerily at the camera. And in each photo, she was standing in our house. We called the police again, but they found nothing unusual about the photos or the music box. Still, the occurrences continued. The music played at random times. The temperature dropped inexplicably, and Duke refused to enter certain rooms. One night, I woke to find the woman from the photos standing at the foot of my bed. Her eyes locked onto mine, and she whispered, "You shouldn't have opened it." Before I could scream, she vanished. Since then, we've tried everything, burning the box, burying it, even moving houses. But it always finds its way back. Thank goodness for Duke. Without him, I don't think I'd have the courage to face each day. But even with him by my side, I can't shake the feeling that she's still watching, waiting.